It's strange how a single voicemail can close a chapter of your life you didn't even realize was still open. Mine came on a quiet November evening, just a few weeks before Christmas. I was making dinner, half listening to the hum of the stove when my phone buzzed. It was from my dad. We hadn't spoken much in the past year. Our conversations had become stiff, cautious, like two strangers trying not to step on landmines. Still, when I saw his name, something in me lit up. Maybe this was the call that would fix things. Maybe he'd finally want to talk, to listen. I let it ring once, twice, then it went to voicemail. A few seconds later, I heard his voice. Flat. Cold. Practiced. Hey. We've decided it's best if you don't come to Christmas this year. Don't call, don't visit. You're cut off. Then silence. No explanation. No, take care. Just that. For a long time, I didn't move. The room suddenly felt smaller, the air thicker. I replayed the message again and again, trying to hear something, a tremor, a hesitation, anything that might show he didn't mean it. But there was nothing. Just finality. I stared at my phone, thumb hovering over the screen, waiting for the right words to appear. Anger wanted to scream. Sadness wanted to beg. But instead, I typed 2 words. I appreciate. I hit send, locked my phone, and went back to stirring my dinner like nothing had happened. But everything had. You see, I grew up in a family where appearances meant everything. Smiles at church, polite greetings at neighborhood events, matching sweaters for the Christmas photo. We looked perfect on the outside, but inside, we were anything but. My dad, Robert, was a man who liked control. Not love, not warmth, control. Every decision had to be approved by him. Every opinion that didn't match his was disrespect. I learned to survive by staying quiet, by being the good kid who didn't cause trouble. My mom was softer, but she followed his lead. She'd say things like, "Don't upset your father," or "He's just trying to help." I used to believe her. Until I got older. When I was 17, I told them I wanted to go to art school. My dad laughed. "Art doesn't pay the bills," he said. "You'll thank me later when you're not starving." He forced me into business school instead. And for years, I played along. Got the degree. Took the job. Smiled through dinners. Pretended I was happy. But the truth was, I was slowly disappearing. Every choice I made was really his. Every dream I had became smaller until I couldn't even remember why I started any of it. Then came the breaking point. It was 2 years ago, at Christmas dinner. The table was set perfectly, the same as every year. Candles, silverware, the smell of roasted turkey. Everything looked the same, except me. I had just quit my corporate job and started freelancing as a photographer. I was nervous but excited. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd be proud that I was doing something I loved. Halfway through dinner, Dad asked, "So, when are you going back to real work?" I told him I wasn't. That I'd booked my first few clients, that I was building something. He didn't even look up. He just said, "You're wasting your potential. You always were a disappointment." The room went silent. My mom tried to smooth it over, but I'd had enough. I stood up, told him I wasn't a child anymore, and walked out. That night, I drove 3 hours back to my apartment with shaking hands and a broken heart. After that, things were distant. We spoke less. His texts got colder. My mom's calls became shorter. And then, that voicemail. At first, I told myself it didn't matter. But the truth? It did. It hurt more than I wanted to admit. Because despite everything, a small part of me still wanted to belong. To be accepted. To be loved without earning it. That night, after I texted, "I appreciate," I poured myself a glass of wine and sat by the window, staring at the city lights. I thought about every Christmas before, the laughter that wasn't real, the forced smiles for photos, the way my dad's approval felt like oxygen in a room that was always running out of air. And then I thought about what "I appreciate" really meant. It didn't mean I was okay with it. It didn't mean I forgave them. It meant I finally understood. For years, I'd been begging for love from people who only knew how to control. I kept showing up to prove my worth, when in reality, I never had to. That voicemail wasn't rejection, it was release. They didn't cut me off. They freed me. The next morning, I deleted the voicemail. Not out of anger, but out of peace. I wasn't going to replay their pain anymore. I booked a trip, not to run away, but to start over. A solo Christmas vacation, just me, a small cabin in the mountains, and silence that didn't judge. The first few days were hard. I kept checking my phone, half expecting an apology that never came. But slowly, the quiet began to feel different. Healing, not lonely. I cooked my own dinner, lit my own candles, took pictures of the snowfall outside. I laughed at my own jokes, danced in the kitchen, breathed in air that didn't taste like guilt. For the first time, I felt free. On Christmas Eve, I got a message from my cousin, a photo of the family gathered around the table. My chair was empty. They hadn't even moved it. Just left it there, like a placeholder for the version of me they wanted back. I smiled. Because that empty chair wasn't sad anymore, it was a boundary. That night, I took my camera, went outside, and pointed it at the stars. I thought about all the years I'd wasted trying to earn love that came with conditions. My dad's voice still echoed in my mind, "Don't come. You're cut off." But now it sounded different. Smaller. Powerless. A few days later, I posted a series of my photos online. Snow-covered mountains, candlelight, reflections in glass. A few days after that, a magazine reached out. They wanted to feature my work. One opportunity led to another. Before I knew it, my small photography hobby had become a full career. And the best part? It was mine. Not my father's version of success. Not anyone else's dream. Just mine. Months passed before I heard from my mom again. She called one afternoon, her voice soft and uncertain. "Your dad's been thinking," she said. "He feels like maybe things went too far." I didn't respond right away. Part of me wanted to forgive instantly, to rush back into that familiar rhythm. But another part, the wiser one, stayed quiet. "I wish him peace," I said finally. "But I'm not coming back to the way things were." There was silence. Then, quietly, "I understand." And for once, I believed her. Since then, I've built a life that's mine in every sense. I moved into a new apartment with big windows and too many plants. I take photos for a living. I work when I want, sleep when I need, laugh without worrying who's watching. I've surrounded myself with people who don't need me to earn my place. Every December, I still get a little ache when the Christmas lights go up. There's still a small part of me that misses the idea of family, not the reality. But then I remember that voicemail, his voice saying, "Don't come." And I realize that the best gift they ever gave me was permission to stop trying. Because the truth is, family isn't blood. Family is the people who see you, who support you, who don't ask you to shrink to fit their version of love. So now, when someone asks me about that Christmas, I don't tell them it broke me. I tell them it built me. I tell them that sometimes, being cut off is the universe's way of pruning dead branches so you can finally grow. I still have the text saved in my phone, "I appreciate." 2 words that used to sound small, now they sound like freedom. I appreciate that they showed me who they really were. I appreciate that I finally had the courage to let go. And most of all, I appreciate that silence taught me something no apology ever could. Sometimes, peace starts with losing people who never wanted you to have it.